Welcome back to the cryptoworld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now, Ethereum is still holding just above this important area of support, while the Bitcoin RSI is also holding just above this important line of support, which I'll talk about in just a moment, so make sure to stick around. First of all, just giving you a really quick update here on the US dollar index chart here on the daily time frame, because right now, as I'm recording this video, the US dollar index is actually pulling back to retest this previous area of resistance. Because first of all, if you watched my last few videos here on the channel, then you would know that obviously the US dollar index has had a recent breakout to a new slightly higher high above this previous high. But so far, in terms of confirmation to confirm the breakout, we've only seen daily candle closes to confirm this breakout, but we have not yet seen a successful retest actually confirming this previous resistance as new support. And so basically, as I've recorded this video, that is potentially what is happening right now. Once again, the DXY is retesting this previous resistance, and if this previous resistance holds as new support and we actually see a bounce from that area, then that would simply be another confirmation signal actually confirming the breakout to the upside if this area now holds as support. And in case you're wondering, this area on the DXY chart, on the US dollar index chart, is sitting in between around 104.3 to 104.7 approximately. And basically, if the DXY confirms that area as new support and bounces from that level and continues to break out higher, then in that scenario, the next price target is simply this previous level of resistance based on these previous highs, sitting at around 105.6 to 105.7 approximately. And in case you're new to all of this, the reason why I'm covering the US dollar index chart in a crypto video is because essentially the DXY and the price of Bitcoin and really the overall crypto market has an inverse correlation. And I won't be going too much into detail about all of that in this video because I've explained that in more detail in my last few videos here on the channel. But essentially, all you really need to know is if the DXY is going to the upside, which it has been since around the middle of July, then usually that's going to result in bearish price action for the price of Bitcoin, which is shown here in the candlesticks. This is the Bitcoin price on the daily time frame, and that red line right here is the DXY, also on the daily time frame. And so once again, generally speaking, when the DXY is moving to the upside, that is not good news for Bitcoin and the crypto markets, which is why for the bears out there, we would need to actually confirm this previous resistance as new support to further confirm the breakout in the DXY. But for the Bitcoin bulls out there, basically those of you who are hoping the price of Bitcoin will go higher, we need to actually see a breakdown in the DXY back below that area that I just mentioned. Because if that actually happens, then that would essentially mean that small breakout to the upside that we've seen over the last few days was potentially just a fake out, which basically means we could likely see a further correction in the DXY if we confirm a break back below around 104.3 approximately, which is where these candle closes are sitting at. And so once again, in that scenario, if we break back below that level and enter into more of a correction in the DXY again, then simply based on history, we should see some more bullish price action for the price of Bitcoin and really for the overall crypto market if this previous resistance, potentially now acting as new support, does not hold up in the DXY. So obviously right now, this is an important test to pay attention to over the next few days. And of course, I will be covering anything new that happens in these videos and in real time over on my Twitter. So make sure you subscribe to this channel with notifications turned on and follow me over on my Twitter, link down below in the description and in the pinned comment. But anyway, now taking a look at this daily Bitcoin chart, and over the last one day, not a lot has changed on this chart because as of right now, obviously the price of Bitcoin is still trading just above this important area of support, sitting in between around 24.3k to 25.3k. And as for the daily Bitcoin price oscillators, right now the daily Bitcoin MACD is still showing very low momentum, while the daily Bitcoin RSI has not yet broken out from this bearish trend, forming lower highs. For example, we have not yet seen a breakout from that trend. But what we are potentially seeing forming right now on the daily time frame is a larger bullish divergence pattern on the daily time frame, because obviously we have already confirmed some slightly lower lows in the Bitcoin price in the daily candle closes, while also confirming some slightly higher lows in the daily Bitcoin RSI. But at least as of right now, this overall bullish divergence on the daily time frame has not yet fully been confirmed, because essentially we need to actually confirm a proper low in place in the price and the RSI, which as of right now has not really happened. So at least for now, that is just something to pay attention to, as it is potentially forming, but once again, it is not yet confirmed. But speaking of bullish divergences, looking at the 6-hour Bitcoin chart, and once again, as I've been saying over the last few days, we have a small bullish divergence here on the 6-hour time frame, because we have already confirmed these previous lower lows in place in the price in the candle closes, while also confirming those previous higher lows in place in the 6-hour Bitcoin RSI. And since then, we have continued to see the RSI hold above this ascending line of support. Now, obviously, as I mentioned in my last video on the channel, the 6-hour Bitcoin RSI was attempting a break to the downside below that line of support, but we did not end up seeing any confirmation. We did not end up seeing that 6-hour candle close that I talked about in my last video actually confirming that break to the downside in the RSI. And obviously, if you're looking at the 6-hour Bitcoin RSI, we have not yet seen any new significant lower lows in the RSI below this previous low to help to invalidate that bullish divergence. And so once again, due to that, as of right now, considering the RSI is still forming higher lows, holding above this ascending line of support, this basically means this short-term bullish divergence is still currently active, which once again means we're due to see a bit of a pause in the shorter term from that bearish trend on the daily time frame, because obviously here on the daily chart, we're still technically within a bearish trend, forming lower highs and lower lows, kind of like what we saw back here. But in the much shorter term, on these smaller time frames like the 6-hour chart, obviously in the imminent short term, as in over the next few days and over the last few days, we have seen a bit of a pause from that bearish trend in the form of mostly choppy sideways price action in the short term as a result of this small bullish divergence. And as for support and resistance, looking at the Bitcoin order books, right now we still have a decent amount of buy orders sitting in between around 25.4k to 25.5k. And so that price range right there should act as a bit of short-term support for the price of Bitcoin. And as for resistance, we should expect a decent amount of resistance in between around 26.3k to 26.5k, because we do have a decent amount of sell orders in that price range. But anyway, now getting into the Ethereum part of this video, this is on the daily ETH to US dollar chart. And right now, the price of ETH is just holding onto this important area of support, sitting in between around 1620 to 1660 approximately. And once again, this area of support is based on these previous lows and also the volume profile indicator showing a lot of support around that price range. And as for the daily Ethereum price oscillators, right now, the daily Ethereum MACD is still currently showing very low momentum, while the daily Ethereum RSI has not yet broken out from that bearish trend, forming lower highs right now. But once again, like Bitcoin on the daily time frame, there is potentially a bullish divergence forming right now here on the daily ETH to US dollar chart, because the price of ETH in the daily candle closes has already formed lower lows, while the daily Ethereum RSI is beginning to form higher lows, which is something to pay attention to as it is currently forming. But at least as of right now, it is not yet confirmed. And now, if this bearish trend on the daily time frame continues with a confirmed break below that level of support, then we also have these lower levels of support based on the Fibonacci retracement tool, which have not changed over the last one day. So if you're new to the channel and you want to know what these next levels of support would be, then simply check out my last video on the channel to find out more. And now, if you're zooming into a smaller time frame, looking at the 6-hour ETH to US dollar chart, once again, this shorter term bullish divergence is still currently active, as I've talked about over the last few days. And so once again, what this means is we're due to see a bit of a pause from that bearish trend on the daily time frame. So we have not yet broken out of the daily bearish trend, but just on the smaller time frames, obviously over the last few days, we have been seeing a lot of choppy sideways price action and even a slight bullish relief from when this bullish divergence actually confirmed. But either way, if you want to know how to make a lot of money in crypto, no matter if the price is going to the upside, to the downside, or simply chopping around sideways in the short term like right now, then make sure to watch these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left shows you how to make money if the price is bullish or bearish using AI, and the video in the bottom left shows you how you can easily profit from choppy sideways price action like right now. But anyway, that's everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.